Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel, where today we've got something a little bit different. We're taking a break from the Premier League coverage and the Manchester United focus to look at Barcelona. Barcelona have of course recently won the Liga with several games to spare for the first time in a few years. So I think it's only right that we talk about, what the players have done so well, but also the tactical approach which Xavi has used. Because it's been a really good season for Barcelona. It's been a bit of a rollercoaster at times, but in the league they've got the job done and finally got the league title. So let's take a look at kind of what has made them a cut above the rest in the Liga this season, and we'll start with the starting 11. Ter Stegen in goal, you know what you're getting from Ter Stegen, a very good goalkeeper and a very good ball player. We then got a back four of Balde, Christensen, Araujo and Koundé. Now, the availability of some of these players has affected the season at times. At times we've seen Araujo move to right back, we've seen Marcos Alonso in the team, Jordi Alba in the team. Different players have played in these areas. But this seems to have been Xavi's preferred starting 11 when the team has been fully fit. This includes a midfield three of Busquets, Frenkie de Jong and Pedri, which is just ridiculous. And then a front three of Lewandowski, Gavi and Ousmane Dembele. Although again, there's been different players that can come in with someone like Rafinha. In terms of the tactical approach, Barcelona were one of the first teams this season to use a shape which is now being used by many, even if they do it in a slightly different way to the likes of Manchester City and Arsenal. So this starts by building possession in a back three. And Koundé at right back this season has provided the real ability for the team to move to that back three shape. Because Koundé, despite being capable at right back, he is more naturally a centre back. So naturally he wants to invert and tuck into these positions here, giving Barcelona this back three. From here we have then seen Frenkie de Jong and Busquets being a real solid base as a double pivot. And if we just look at these two quickly, their FBref reports from the past 365 days are ridiculous. This top one being Sergio Busquets and the bottom one being Frenkie de Jong. In terms of the passes they're attempting per game, the amount of passes they're completing per game, but also the progressive nature of these passes, it's just ridiculous. And they're two of the best midfielders on the planet. It's a shame that Busquets will be leaving at the end of the season. What a player he's been throughout his career, but you can see the sort of technical ability that this base midfield is going to provide to the rest of the team. Now, with this back three and then the midfield two kind of sitting in these deeper positions, it has meant that Balde has been able to push much higher up the pitch. So he kind of starts as a left back, but he very much plays as a left winger with Gavi coming inside. And this is where we can see Barcelona using a shape which several teams are using at the moment, this 3-2-4-1 shape like this, but in a slightly different way. Most teams at the moment are using their fullbacks a bit deeper. Barcelona push Balde all the way up the pitch. Now, of course, Barcelona are flexible. There's also spells of the season where they've been in a bit more of a 2-3 shape. Something we've seen in recent weeks is something occasionally looking a bit more like this. One second. Something like this. We've seen Barcelona in a shape which kind of resembles this a little bit lately, with someone like Koundé getting forward from right back. But kind of for the main bulk of the season, and the tactic for me which won them La Liga, is more of this 3-2-4-1 shape or this 3-box-3 shape. And actually it's probably closer to a 3-box-3 shape. And the reason for that is because Balde and Dembele, the two players providing the width, have been pushed super high and super wide. Now, the idea behind pushing them as wide as possible is you're manipulating the opposition and their positioning. If the wingers are both in quite narrow and deep positions, it allows the opposition to narrow off their defence. And of course, a very basic principle of defending is that when you don't have the ball, you want to make the pitch quite small and compact. So that's what narrow wingers would allow the opposition to do. However, as Barcelona do the opposite, they push Dembele super wide and high on this side, Balde super high and wide on this side, it drags the opposition's defensive structure apart. This then creates spaces in what we would call the channels in these positions, areas which Pedri is very good at attacking and also Gavi. So this is the whole idea behind Barcelona's kind of structure. It's about overloading players in different areas of the pitch, of course, but it's also about moving the opposition into different areas so you can then exploit another position of the pitch. And again, the progressive nature of this midfield in particular is just ridiculous. So you've got the opposition are stretched because of the width on the pitch. It opens up the middle of the pitch. Barcelona then of course outnumber almost every team in the world in this position because they have four players in Busquets, Frenkie de Jong, Gavi and Pedri. Four brilliantly technically gifted players. This isn't just four average footballers overloading the middle of the pitch. This is two of the best young players in the world coming through in Pedri and Gavi. And I mean Pedri in particular is just one of the best midfielders in the world, and then Busquets and Frenkie de Jong, where again, we're looking at their passing numbers, they are just ridiculously good at football. They are ridiculously good on the ball. Frenkie de Jong is also going to offer that ball carrying as well, but they're just brilliant from these positions. So the opposition have been stretched by the width, opens up the middle of the pitch, where Barcelona have the overload, but also ridiculous technical quality, which means that they can quickly get the ball moving forward through the lines. Now, once they've done this, Barcelona then change approach a little bit. A lot of teams will kind of keep players in both half spaces like this, and keep Pedri and Gavi away from each other at times a little bit. Barcelona don't tend to do that. Once they've opened the pitch up and gone forward, they then actually kind of crowd together again a little bit. Most teams, as I said already, would then open the pitch up even further. Barcelona then tend to crowd it a little bit. So Frenkie de Jong will come over, Pedri will come over, of course Balde's in this position, and Lewandowski will also drift over as well. Now, the idea behind this is that it creates the opportunity for kind of quick rotations, quick interchanging passing moves. Quick 1-2s in these areas of the pitch. One touch, two touch football, kind of Barcelona-esque. Quick tiki-taka football in these areas to get round the opposition. And that is something which Barcelona have done very, very well. However, whilst they are doing this, they still keep one player on the other side of the pitch, acting as an isolation outlet basically. Might be an isolation winger if it's someone like Ousmane Dembele or Rafinha, two players who we know are brilliant at getting the ball, receiving in a 1-versus-1, Dembele in particular, and taking their man on. Because you've sucked the opposition all the way over this side by kind of gravitating into this area. The opposition are sucked over to one side of the pitch. You then go back out to your quality passing midfielders, get the ball out to the other side, and then you can attack again. And that's something which Barcelona have done really well this season, and it's where a lot of their goals have come from. Now, a lot of their goals have also come from selfless work in the final third of the pitch, and this has come thanks to the youth and exuberance of this particular Barcelona team. Players like Balde, Gavi and Pedri in particular have been very, very selfless with their work off the ball in possession. So there's a lot of movement off the ball, making runs, trying to drag the opposition into different positions to open up space for someone else. For example, Frenkie de Jong might have the ball here, and we can see that Lewandowski is going to be marked by this centre-back. What we can see from Barcelona this season is that someone like Gavi will make the run in behind. He knows he's not going to get the ball, he's just making this run as a decoy, because what it does is it takes this centre-back's attention away. This then opens up a bit of space for Lewandowski to drop into, get the ball on the turn. Now, he might shoot from here, or he might link up with someone else. But it's all about these selfless runs off the ball into the final third, creating space for different players to move into. And that's what Barcelona have done really very, very well. Before we continue with the analysis, I want to talk to you guys about JerseyFIFA.com, the home of all of the greatest football kits. Whether that's the latest home shirts, the latest away shirts, tracksuits, or even retro kits, Jersey FIFA has a bit of everything. There really is something for everyone, so if you are interested, then make sure to use the link in the description down below and head to JerseyFIFA.com. Something else which Barcelona have done really well this season is attacked in a bit more of a direct manner. Now, we think of Barcelona, we think of Pep Guardiola in particular. It's all about tiki-taka, controlling the ball, slow attacks, moving the ball through the pitch. That isn't the case under Xavi this season. He is very happy to go direct and playing quick transitions. So when Barcelona win the ball and look to counter-attack, they are more than happy to hit the channels with long, raking passes. Whether it be Busquets or someone like Araujo from these deeper positions, they're more than happy to turn the opposition round quickly. And this is something, like I said, which it goes against the Barcelona tradition a little bit, but it's made them very, very dangerous, particularly again with athletes like Balde and Ousmane Dembele out wide. Barcelona are happy to hit these channels with long balls forward and quickly get into goal scoring positions. So yes, their sustained possession is very good, they've created a lot of chances, but they have different ways in which they can attack. It isn't just slow possession football, they always have these quick transitions in their locker as well. And it's led to a lot of goals in La Liga for Lewandowski, 21 in the La Liga this season, and that's been really important for them. That man at the front who can put the ball in the back of the net and take his chances. Now, actually, if we look at his expected goals here using Info Goal, we can see that he actually should have scored more. His expected goals has been 25.53 this season, and he scored 21, which is an underperformance, of course, of just over 4 goals. Now, when you consider Lewandowski is an elite striker, you would expect him to overperform his expected goals. So Lewandowski in particular, you would probably expect to have 7 or 8 more goals than what he has this season. And that kind of, again, highlights how well Barcelona have played quick attacking football to create chances for their main man. And all round, it's been really, really impressive. Barcelona have also been really, really good from a defensive point of view this season. By far the best defensive team in La Liga. And the reason for that is again because of their counter press. And the reason they're so good at counter pressing is because of their in possession shape. So in possession, as we've said already, it's this 3-box-3. This means that when you lose the ball in these areas of the pitch, you have width, which can press the fullbacks. You've got a sturdy defensive system, which can prevent counter-attacks. But also, you've got 4 central midfielders, plus a striker, who can press in the centre of the pitch. And in the Liga this season, no team has scored more goals from these high turnovers. They're also second best in the league for passes per defensive action, which shows that the opposition really do not get very many passes before Barcelona are there and winning the ball back. And of course, when you do that, the opposition are exposed because they're trying to play the ball out from the back. They're starting to expand out of their defensive structure a little bit. Maybe that the wingers are spreading, the midfielders are moving forward because they think they can attack. Barcelona nick the ball in this area, the team is open, and they score goals. And Barcelona have done it really, really well all season. And it kind of highlights the two things they've done brilliantly. They've defended well, conceding just 18 goals in the first 37 games of the season, and scoring 69, which is the second highest in the league, giving them a goal difference of 51. 12 better than the next team that you can see there. And that's why Barcelona have been so good. This hasn't just been about good attacking football. Defensively, they are also very strong, getting rid of some of the frailties which they've had in past seasons. And that is what Xavi deserves a lot of credit for. Yes, he has taken a lot of key Barcelona kind of traditional principles. He's taken them on board. But he's also given his team a bit of grit with the way that they counter-press and defend, but also that different threat in transition as well. And that's why this Barcelona side have won the Liga, and they've been a level ahead of every different team in the league this season. So they deserve credit. They deserve their title. They've been absolutely brilliant. The aim for them now will be a good summer window. Financially, I have no idea what the situation is. We'll kind of see as the summer develops. But they need to get the right players in to try and compete in other competitions next season. In the Europa League, they disappointed, getting outplayed by Manchester United. They will want a better performance in the Champions League next season. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in the future. In terms of the past, what has happened this season, they've been absolutely phenomenal. They of course have one more game to finish the season with, but the title has been theirs for a long time now, and it's thoroughly deserved. So that's all I've got to say for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you have enjoyed it, and as always, I will see you in the next one.